is going to be a yeoman to Wike and his paymaster. But from all indications, he's beginning to assert himself. You know, yes, he's beginning to act like the governor. And I know with the support of the public and even Rivers people, he will reorder everything that was disordered in Rivers State. He's going to act like the governor that he's supposed to be. I was not surprised then when his Wike lawmakers could not attend the Thanksgiving service, you know, during the independence celebration service that was organized by Fubara.
By Fubara?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the church service now. The lawmakers in Rivers.
By Ibas?
No. The lawmaker that is in favor of Wike.
Wike, okay. Which service are you talking about?
Last Sunday now there was a service.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
In Rivers State. They refused to attend. Apparently because of the dissolution of this pension board.
Which took place on Friday.
Exactly. So, you know, it's like they are not happy that what their oga put in place is being tampered with. And that will be the beginning of the problem. You know, I pray that Fubara is going to reveal or reorganize all those things that the Wike and his paymaster disorganized in Rivers State. Because that's the only way he can assert himself. Oh. That's the truth. For them not to have attended that church service tells me a lot. And I knew that something was brewing. The next thing now will be impeachment. For no justifiable reason. That's the truth. The next thing now will be impeachment because they can't place another state of emergency without any justification. That's the truth.
No, Barrister, what do you mean that they can? Okay, without any justification.
Yes.
Now, at least you have agreed that was there a justification for the first state of emergency?
There was none.
Okay, there was none. If there was none, what gives you the impression that it can't happen again?
On what ground will it happen again?
On what ground did it happen before?
The first ground was that there was no governance.
Okay.
And there was a breakdown of law and order.
Okay.
Which,
so are we not back to that stage again where you see the governor dismantling structures set up by the sole administrator?
Oh my God.
And like you rightly said, the service conducted in honor of the returned governor. The members of the House of Assembly were nowhere to be found. So does it look like there's some kind of, piece of the graveyard in Rivers State?
I already know.
Okay.
I already know that something like that will be coming up.
Okay, you saw it coming.
Yes, I saw it coming because the first thing these people did when they resumed plenary was to ask him to bring the list of commissioners for approval. And the last time I checked, Fubara have not done that. He need to sit down and know those to be appointed, not those they handed over to him. Not those they handed over to him. That is the irony here. So the man is taking his time to do his thing.
Okay.
I don't see how that will warrant an impeachment. The next thing now, they will not approve those lists if they bring them. That's it. So they are waiting to lay ambush on him. These are the things that is going to happen.
So Barrister, practically, you are telling us that, all is not well in Rivers State.
All will never be well, as long as Wike is still looking around.
But we hear Wike say there is peace. Peace has returned. We hear Fubara say peace has returned. What kind of peace would that be?
It is the kind of peace Wike always wanted.
To lord it over his godson. And the godson says, no, I'm not going to take this.
Wike's peace is not their ideal peace. His own peace is different from what you and I know as peace. Peace is when you agree to whatever he wants. That's all. That's his own peace. And as long as you disagree with him, there is no peace. Apparently, Fubara have agreed to, whatever they told him. But there are things he cannot agree to. And those opposition, you cannot come out and say, this is what he did wrong. They can't come out and say it. Like this board now, I'm sure there is something wrong with that board. that made the man to dissolve them. There is something wrong about that board. That's the truth. Maybe in time to come, we are going to hear the true story.
Okay, now, Barrister, before we go to Benin City, where we have been joined by Comrade Roy Oriabo, I would like for you to answer this one more question. Fubara became governor at the instance of Nyesom Wike. Wike he didn't mince words about it. He said, I made you governor. If not for me, you wouldn't have been governor. Nobody from your place would have been governor if not for the intervention of Nyesom Wike. Now, within 2 years, we saw them get into problems and all of that. And people said, look, Fubara, you were quick to act. You didn't even have a political base before you got into that fight. 1 week after resumption of duty from his suspension, we see him start that fight again, more like by dismantling structure set up by the sole administrator, whom we understand was there at the instance of the president. And by extension, a lot of people also believe that, look, Wike was all part of it. Does it look like Fubara is going back to the trenches too early in the day?
No, Fubara is trying to do the right thing for Rivers people. Are you getting what I'm saying? All this
the kind of right thing he tried to do before that got both him and Rivers people into trouble.
Now, listen very well. Thunder does not strike twice in a particular place.
Okay.
This talk that Wike brought Fubara to power and all that. Who now brought Wike to power? Are you not talking about that?
No, but Wike also had problems with people that brought him to power. And Amechi said that, look, Rivers State is the capital of betrayal because Amechi betrayed the person that brought him, and Wike betrayed the person that brought him. Now, Fubara betrayed the person that brought him.
Because those brought in is not constitutional.
Okay.
And it is immoral. Very, very. Look, whenever things
why is Rivers State the exception? Because we also have other places where we have godfathers installed godsons.
It is because the people that you are talking about, they always demand immoral favor.
Who demands immoral favor?
The person that you claim that brought somebody to power.
Barrister, exactly my point. Why is it that it's only in Rivers State that we get to hear of this kind of problem?
It is only in Rivers State that you see such demand like Wike was demanding from Fubara.
Okay.
That is the truth now. And he's not apologetic. Even as at the time this state of emergency was going on, Wike was still upbeat. He was still boasting that if he demands 20 billion to maintain his structure, what is wrong with that? Can you imagine? Is that what you want somebody to, approve or sit on? It's not the only one. Now look, who brought Wike to power? In fact, who kept Wike alive? Is it not God? Why is he not thinking of all those?
Barrister, it is God that keeps all of us alive. We are talking in practical terms here.
In practical terms,
God keeps all of us alive.
Those things does not apply.
Okay.
Mr. Okoro, let me tell you authoritatively. God has a way of doing his own thing.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying? How did Jonathan become the president of this country?
Okay.
Did he spend 1 naira?
So what is the role of God in all of this? Are you saying that God is happy with what is going on in Rivers
No,
State?
God can look. That's what I'm telling you. God said that He will use the foolish things to confirm the wise.
Okay.
Whatever happened, the hand of God is there to expose both Wike and Fubara. And then Rivers people will now choose.
Barrister, Nigerians have been waiting for that hand of God for the past 65 years. Now, let's go to Benin City, where we've been joined by Comrade Roy Oriabo. Now, Comrade, I'm sure you have followed the conversation. Last Friday, Sim Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, who just resumed from his suspension, dismantled the pensions board, dissolved it. The pensions board that was set up by the sole administrator, Ibokete Ibaz. And a lot of people are saying, look, the members of that board was practically at the behest of a certain man who is trying to control or who controls the politics of Rivers State. From Abuja, what is your reaction to what has happened in Rivers State? Does it paint a picture of what is to come in Rivers State? Is Fubara going back to the political trenches? What do you see? What do you know? What do you think is going to happen?
I have personally watched the situation in Rivers State.
Okay.
You agree with me when Fubara was called back in this program? I talked to him. I saw the notice to him that this is the second journey. You cannot hit my goat twice and call it a mistake. Wike cannot, Fubara cannot continue want to be creating chaos where there are none. Fubara is a man who boasted that, do you think my power, even when people were mobilizing and supporting, he said, do you think I still care for that outfit? My office assist, my spirit assist left there. But all of a sudden, we saw him with his two legs begging from one corner to another. Begging from Lagos to United Kingdom to Abuja, looking for anybody who will help me to reach a Wike presidency. So governors also told us that if he was wanting to go and meet his godfather, there was a point where he had to go on his lead, had to go and meet him in his bedroom. Why is he not coming out to be proving the obduracy, the mission of obduracy he hit out to embark on that is not favor him? He's still going back there again. This is the second opportunity was given to him. This second opportunity, if he don't use it well, I pity him. I pity him because Nigeria is an unusual place until we understand that. When I hear people are talking about constitution, they talk about law. I begin to wonder, is it not in this country? A man was suspended for 6 months. I did not see the judiciary. I did not see the law. I did not see the I don't know what they want to bring again. That was how they pushed Fubara. A very weak and a shallow thinker who is a stranger to principle evaluation and critical thinking. That was how people encouraged him to fight his godfather. They pushed him to it when he got there. How many people were with him when he was removed, suspended, and the state was subject to an emergency rule? What was the fate of Fubara? It was moving from one corner to another, moving from one pillar to pole, looking for who will help me to reach out to his boss. I see no reason why he should back on this mission again. Because all the opportunity was given, he sat down with his boss, and they have an understanding. And a working document and the formula was presented before him. And he endorsed it that he wants to come back. What is he trying to do? Do you think Rivers is not the only state in Nigeria that they will, Fubara and co will continue to drag us back? In that issue, he admitted and he agreed with the principle which is in Wike. That's why his level of ingratitude he demonstrated. Wike seems humble himself to say, let's come back. I see no reason why he should fight this kind of fighting. So the Nigerians who are encouraging him now, telling him there is law, there is constitution. By the time they drive him away, Efcc will pick him up. He will go to jail. You will not see all this. They will only be talking. I've been talking in this country for long. I've been talking in this country for long. Nothing has changed. The book of lamentation was not written because of Nigeria. We can't continue to lament when we know what to do. You are dealing with a man who brought you to power. And you know the capacity, you know the ability, you know what you can do.
Beautiful. Comrade Roy, I like where you have brought us to now. According to you, Fubara is dealing with the man that brought him to power. Now the question is, should one man in a state where you have more than 7 million people be the sole person to say, this is the governor, and the person becomes the governor? Should one man make make another a governor? Is it right? Are we building a decent political culture where the votes of the people don't matter? And we have a certain system where the leadership or a cabal or just one man manipulates the system and says, you will be the governor, and the person becomes the governor. Is that right?
At a time in any human history, there must be one man there. In Rivers State now, we have Wike. In Edo State, very just now, we have Oshomole against Obaseki. This is not the first time we are seeing it. Even in Lagos, we have Abo Davis or the incumbent president. Let us not pretend about this. When people pretend too much in this country, that's my concern. We pretend too much as if
nobody is pretending. We know that these things exist. My question is it right? At what point should we start dismantling all of this and build a decent political culture where the people go to the polls and decide this is the person we want to be our governor, and not one man anointing another person and saying this should be the governor? At what point should we start getting it right?
My brother, let me tell you, before you pick this your job, I will not be surprised. Somebody must have endorsed your floor for you. Somebody must have recommended you. We can recommend Fubara. I expect it should remain that loyalty.
I'm sorry, comrade. There are different ways of getting employment. I mean, I could have seen an opening somewhere and I applied. Nobody must have. Somebody mustn't recommend me.
It is not the
based on my qualification and the value that the company saw in me.
the one man supposed to do that. You will not first of all take inventory of what it takes to be a governor, to contest for any position. Look at the volume of money. Fubara was a civil servant.
Comrade Roy
How much does he have at that time?
I understand. Nigerians understand.
They have a family structure. They call it structure. Now this one is the political structure where all of them find themselves. None of them is permitted to spend their $1. It is the structure that will organize themselves to bring out the money.
Excuse me, Comrade Roy.
Once they bring out the money, they will spend it. And you
Comrade Roy, can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me out? All the explanations you have made, I understand. The guest in the studio understands. Nigerians understand. Simple question. Is it right? That system, the process that you have enumerated now, is it proper? That is the question. Is it right?
The reality, I'm telling you, the reality about Nigeria is what I'm telling you, not what is documented in anywhere. What is the constitution? What is documented? So we are telling you the naked reality about Nigeria today. That one man have the power to make anybody governor. It will come to power. Heaven will not fall because heaven have not fallen before. Let us encourage Fubara to keep on to what they have, the understanding. Fubara, what Fubara need now, he need encouragement. I was even thinking that Fubara, before he assumed, he came back for this second opportunity. He's supposed to undergo some psychological therapy. He's supposed to undergo some evaluation. Because the way he was talking, what he said is not fulfilling Nigeria. The more you are shameless in Nigeria, the more you are saying Nigeria politics. Therefore, don't bring morality into it. Don't bring righteousness into it. Don't bring decency into it. Don't bring transparency into it. That is the Nigeria we have built for ourselves over the years. And that is what is attainable. I expect that man to be loyal to Wike. Anything different, he should just go home and
All right then. Thank you very much, Comrade Roy Oria. But we'll come back to you in a moment. Now, the barrister in the studio here seems to disagree